The first 2 weeks of the Trump administration are, of course, in the books, assuming that once the Trump administration ends, books even still exist. We don't know. We could see an executive order banning all of them. But anyway, they're gone. They're history. 2 weeks that have been an absolute disaster. And for the record, that's not just me saying, wow, this has been a real bad 2 weeks. It's actually people inside the Trump administration, according to a new report from the Wall Street Journal, which is also a right-wing publication owned by Rupert Murdoch. And even they are admitting this has been a complete and total shit show for the last 2 weeks. Donald Trump has suffered disaster after disaster, whether it be with his policies, whether, the plane crash, dealing with the fires that, of course, he didn't want to deal with, everything's DEI, and, of course, getting smacked down by judges, basically causing the entire government to go into shutdown mode because of a poorly worded executive order. It has been one catastrophe after another, and it's only been 2 weeks. But here is what the Wall Street Journal has to say is happening behind the scenes. On camera and on Truth Social all week, Trump governed with his usual confidence and bravado. But behind the scenes, there was evidence of frustration and breakdowns in communication in an administration that has moved with lightning speed to try to shake up the government. The poorly written memo, as described by an anonymous White House official, wasn't run by many top advisors in the West Wing, including Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller, before it was issued, according to people familiar with what happened. So, everything is chaos. Everything is crazy. And then the report goes on to say that these top aides to Donald Trump are already having to workshop ways to fix his image, right? 2 weeks in, and they're already meeting behind the scenes like, how do we fix this, right? How do we make the public not think that we're all a bunch of incompetent morons? Well, newsflash, it's already too late. Donald Trump's approval rating in his first week in office, according to Rasmussen, which is a heavily right-wing skewed pollster, fell by 4 points. Now, in the other polls, it fell by a lot more. But even in the right-wing polls, people are like, yeah, this is bad. And, you can't say we didn't warn you. We told you this all was going to happen, and for the record, it's only going to get worse from here. But it is what it is. These aides are now in the unfortunate position of having to rehab the image of a man who refuses to let anyone rehab his image. Are they suddenly going to become competent overnight? Absolutely not. Is he suddenly going to start actually reading these executive orders or even writing them himself? No, he's not. They're going to keep using AI to generate these, which is going to result in poorly worded, ambiguous orders that cause more chaos. Is Elon Musk going to be fired today as he continues to wreak havoc on the federal government? No, he's not. So these aides are basically Sisyphus at this point, right? All we got to do is just get the boulder to the top of the hill and everything's going to be fine. No. It is a task that will repeat itself for all of eternity. You will not be able to rehab this image because you work for an incompetent buffoon. Okay? He has not surrounded himself with enough competent people to at least make him look decent at times. The competent people, the smart folks, bye-bye, you're not allowed in this administration. So I do have to laugh at the thought of these, top aides trying to figure out, what do we do? The answer is, let him sink on his own. Okay? Don't waste your time on a task that you know is impossible. Move on to other things. And by that, I literally mean move on to other jobs. Because this one is going to be very bad for your mental health. It's going to be bad for your physical health. We saw during the first Trump administration, aides leave left and right throughout the entire 4 years, talking to the media about how miserable it is. What did y'all think was going to happen? He's only gotten worse since then. So you can either stay there and work on a task of rehabbing the image of one of the most hated monsters in American history, or you can update your resume and get the hell out of there and save yourself. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.